As we delve into the dramatic archival footage of World War II, we witness the sheer might of Nazi Germany at its zenith. The question looms large. How did a regime that conquered much of Europe collapse within a mere 6 years? During the late 1930s, Nazi Germany embarked on an aggressive expansion, swiftly dominating neighboring countries. The regime's initial successes, marked by rapid military campaigns, instilled a sense of invincibility among its leaders. However, this overconfidence masked the brewing logistical strains that would soon unravel their ambitions. Adolf Hitler, increasingly sidelining his generals, began making perilous military decisions that would ultimately lead to catastrophic consequences. The context of this era is crucial, as it sets the stage for understanding how a powerful empire could crumble under the weight of its own hubris and miscalculations. The journey from dominance to defeat is a tale of ambition, strategy, and the harsh realities of war. In the early stages of World War II, Nazi Germany achieved remarkable victories, rapidly expanding its territory across Europe. The swift conquests of Poland, France, and the Low Countries showcased the effectiveness of blitzkrieg tactics, which combined speed and surprise. However, this early success bred overconfidence within the German leadership. As victories piled up, logistical strains began to surface, revealing cracks in their military strategy. Adolf Hitler, increasingly convinced of his own infallibility, started to override his generals, dismissing their cautious advice. This shift led to increasingly risky military decisions, such as the ill-fated invasion of the Soviet Union. The initial triumphs masked the growing challenges as stretched supply lines and overextended forces began to take their toll. The very confidence that propelled Germany forward would soon contribute to its downfall, as the realities of war began to clash with Hitler's ambitious vision. This pivotal moment not only marked the beginning of a protracted conflict, but also signaled the decline of Nazi Germany's ambitions in the East. This massive offensive opened a new Eastern front, stretching German resources to their limits. Initially, the Wehrmacht advanced rapidly, but harsh winter conditions soon turned the tide. Soldiers faced freezing temperatures, inadequate clothing, and food shortages, leading to significant morale issues. Supply failures compounded these challenges, as the vast distances made logistics nearly impossible. Moreover, Hitler's underestimation of Soviet resistance proved catastrophic. The Red Army, initially caught off guard, regrouped and mounted fierce counterattacks. The German forces, overextended and unprepared for the brutal winter, began to falter. By the end of 1941, what was once a confident invasion transformed into a desperate struggle for survival. The Battle of Stalingrad, fought from August 1942 to February 1943, marked a crucial turning point in World War II. The German Sixth Army, once considered invincible, faced catastrophic defeat as Soviet forces encircled the city. Adolf Hitler's refusal to allow a retreat trapped his troops in a deadly standoff, leading to immense losses. Approximately 100,000 German soldiers surrendered, and the battle claimed hundreds of thousands of lives on both sides. Historians view Stalingrad as a decisive moment because it shattered the myth of Nazi invincibility and marked the beginning of a relentless Soviet offensive. The defeat not only weakened German morale, but also shifted the balance of power on the Eastern Front. Stalingrad became a symbol of resilience for the Soviet Union, demonstrating that the tide of war could be turned, ultimately paving the way for the Allied victory in Europe. Following the attack on Pearl Harbor, on December 7, 1941, Adolf Hitler made the fateful decision to declare war on the United States just 4 days later. This choice dramatically shifted the dynamics of World War II, bringing America's immense industrial capacity into the European theater. By 1944, American factories were producing approximately 100,000 aircraft and over 1 million military vehicles annually. In stark contrast, Germany's wartime production was significantly lower, with only about 30,000 aircraft and a mere 200,000 vehicles. This disparity in industrial output showcased the overwhelming resources the United States could mobilize. Hitler underestimated the consequences of this declaration, believing that the United States would be slow to respond. Instead, it galvanized American resolve, leading to a rapid build-up of forces that would ultimately contribute to the downfall of Nazi Germany. The decision marked a turning point in the war's trajectory. Fighting a two-front war proved to be a catastrophic miscalculation for Nazi Germany. As the Allies launched their invasion of Normandy on June 6, 1944, known as D-Day, the situation became increasingly dire for Hitler. This massive military operation marked a significant turning point, as Allied forces successfully established a foothold in Western Europe. The invasion opened up a new front, stretching German resources even thinner. With the Soviets advancing from the east and Allies pushing from the west, Germany found itself trapped in a vice. The logistical challenges of defending against simultaneous attacks proved overwhelming. D-Day not only signaled the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany, but also showcased the resilience and coordination of the Allied forces. As the Allies gained momentum, the inevitable collapse of the Third Reich became clearer, sealing Germany's fate in the war and altering the course of history forever. Nazi ideology, particularly its racial extremism, profoundly influenced military strategies and led to catastrophic policies, including the Holocaust. The belief in Aryan superiority justified brutal tactics against perceived enemies, fueling a genocidal campaign that aimed to eliminate entire populations. This ideology did not only shape the military's approach, but also sparked fierce resistance movements across occupied territories. As the Nazi regime implemented its destructive policies, local populations united against their oppressors, fostering a spirit of defiance that would complicate German military operations. The brutality of the Holocaust and other atrocities galvanized the resolve of the Allies, transforming their mission into one of liberation and justice. The Allies recognized that defeating Nazi Germany was not merely a military necessity, but a moral imperative. This shared commitment among nations ultimately strengthened their efforts, leading to a united front against the oppressive regime and contributing to its eventual downfall. As the war progressed, Adolf Hitler became increasingly isolated, fostering a growing distrust of his generals. This isolation led him to issue unrealistic no-retreat orders, reflecting his unwillingness to adapt to the changing realities on the battlefield. His refusal to heed the advice of experienced military leaders resulted in strategic inflexibility, which severely hampered Germany's ability to respond effectively to challenges. The catastrophic defeat at the Battle of Stalingrad exemplified this mindset, as Hitler insisted on holding positions at all costs, leading to the encirclement and destruction of the German Sixth Army. This stubbornness not only cost countless lives, but also drained vital resources. As Germany faced mounting pressures on multiple fronts, Hitler's rigid approach accelerated the collapse of the Third Reich. Ultimately, his inability to compromise or retreat in the face of adversity proved to be a critical factor in the downfall of Nazi Germany. The defeat of Nazi Germany can be attributed to several critical factors. First, overexpansion stretched resources thin, making it difficult to maintain supply lines and troop morale. Second, the regime consistently underestimated its enemies, particularly the Soviets, leading to catastrophic miscalculations during campaigns like Operation Barbarossa. Third, declaring unnecessary wars, such as against the United States, brought formidable industrial power into the conflict, tipping the scales against Germany. Additionally, ideological extremism often overshadowed military logic, resulting in brutal policies that alienated potential allies and fueled resistance. Finally, Strategic inflexibility, exemplified by Hitler's refusal to retreat or adapt, trapped German forces in untenable positions. These combined elements created a perfect storm that ultimately led to the collapse of a regime that once dominated Europe. Understanding these reasons provides critical insights into the dynamics of power, strategy, and the consequences of unchecked ambition in warfare. Authoritarian decision-making often leads to catastrophic outcomes, as demonstrated by the fall of Nazi Germany. When leaders consolidate unchecked power, they become increasingly detached from reality, making decisions that disregard the advice of experienced advisors. Adolf Hitler's refusal to listen to his generals during critical moments exemplifies this peril. His insistence on no retreat and the pursuit of ideological goals over military strategy resulted in devastating losses. The consequences extend beyond military defeat. They foster environments where dissent is silenced and critical thinking is stifled. This pattern has recurred throughout history, leading to widespread suffering and chaos. The unchecked authority can escalate conflicts and exacerbate human rights violations, as seen in the Holocaust. Ultimately, the lessons from this dark chapter remind us that power must be balanced with accountability, and that the consequences of ignoring this principle can reverberate through generations, impacting societies long after the events have unfolded. Understanding history is crucial in shaping our present and future. The mistakes made by leaders during World War II, such as overconfidence, ideological extremism, and strategic inflexibility, resonate today. These historical lessons remind us that unchecked power can lead to catastrophic consequences. In contemporary governance, we must scrutinize leadership styles and military strategies, ensuring they prioritize adaptability and collaboration over rigid ideologies. The implications of these past errors are evident in modern conflicts and political decisions. By analyzing how authoritarian decision-making can spiral into disaster, we encourage a more thoughtful approach to leadership. It is vital for current and future leaders to learn from these historical missteps, fostering a commitment to diplomacy and strategic flexibility. As we navigate complex global challenges, reflecting on the past can inform better choices, ultimately guiding us toward a more peaceful and cooperative world. Embracing these lessons is essential for sustainable governance and international relations. The aftermath of World War II marked a significant turning point in global history. With the defeat of Nazi Germany, Europe underwent drastic geopolitical changes. The war's conclusion in 1945 led to the division of Germany into East and West, symbolizing the ideological divide between capitalism and communism. The establishment of the United Nations aimed to foster international cooperation and prevent future conflicts. The United States and the Soviet Union emerged as superpowers, creating a new power dynamic that shaped international relations for decades. The Cold War began, characterized by political tension, military competition, and ideological rivalry. Colonial empires began to crumble as nations in Asia and Africa sought independence, reshaping global power structures. The Marshall Plan was initiated to aid European recovery, fostering economic stability. These developments laid the groundwork for a new world order, emphasizing the importance of diplomacy and collective security in a post-war era. As we delve deeper into the human experience of World War II, personal stories from historians and veterans bring a profound emotional connection to the events. One veteran recalls the chilling silence that followed the liberation of a concentration camp, a moment that forever changed his understanding of humanity. Another historian shares how the war reshaped their family, recounting tales of loss and resilience passed down through generations. These narratives highlight not just the statistics of war, but the lives forever altered by its brutality. A historian emphasizes the importance of remembering these stories, stating that they serve as a reminder of the consequences of hatred and division. Each testimony encapsulates the courage and suffering endured, reminding us that behind every historical fact lies a human story. As we reflect on these experiences, we gain a deeper understanding of the war's lasting impact on individuals and societies alike. As we conclude this exploration of World War II, we invite you to delve deeper into this pivotal chapter of history. Understanding the complexities of this era is essential, not only to honor those who suffered, but also to learn from the past. The lessons of leadership, resilience, and the consequences of unchecked power resonate today more than ever. We encourage you to seek out books, documentaries, and discussions that illuminate the multifaceted nature of this conflict. As you reflect on the stories of bravery and tragedy, let the powerful images of the past inspire you to engage with history actively. Join us now in a visual montage of archival footage, showcasing the courage and determination of those who lived through these tumultuous times. Together, let us remember, learn, and ensure that the sacrifices made are never forgotten. Your journey into history begins now.